Hi, so Mark, can you tell me a bit about the job of an arborist? What does that mean?
An arborist is a person that's responsible for looking after trees, basically. So that can cover anything from planting them, taking them down, pruning, hedge cutting, removing stumps from the ground.
Yeah. So how is it that you came to be an arborist? Like, was that something you wanted to do when you were young? Did you like nature and being outside?
My grandfather was a lumberjack. From a very early age, I think I was 6 or 7, I used to tell my mum that I wanted to do tree work. I did a few jobs as I was growing up, and then I went to college and did an employment traineeship.
So was that like part work, part college?
4 days a week working, which I think is the best way to learn a trade.
Yeah.
And then a day a week at college over a 2-year span.
Have you ever had to do any other learning and training? Have you ever had to do any other courses?
Yeah, there's a variety of tickets that you need, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
So there's brush cutter, wood chipper, chainsaw courses, there's health and safety courses, there's first aid, the list goes on. So it's constantly updating it all.
You're actually doing some training at the moment, aren't you?
There is.
Particularly because you're on One Horton Heath.
It's all about Japanese knotweed and invasive species. So invasive species are a big thing on development sites. Japanese knotweed has to be the worst. Basically, you won't get a mortgage on a site that's got Japanese knotweed, and it can be one of the most difficult plants to get rid of. It can take years and years and years. No one knew how invasive it would be, and now it's basically classed as toxic waste if you take it away from anywhere.
Oh, really?
And it's incredibly expensive and difficult to get rid of.
And you're doing a course that is just on Japanese knotweed, or is it on any invasive?
It's based on mainly Japanese knotweed, but it covers all the biosecurity of development sites.
From what you're saying to me, it sounds like you've really got to embrace lifelong learning, because it seems to always be something that you've got to learn about that's changing.
Yeah, I think that's part of the job, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Tell me about your time in Australia. Was that a challenge to go and live abroad for a year?
It was a challenge. It was an exciting challenge, and obviously the difference in wildlife, biting insects, snakes that you get up trees, makes things a bit different.
So they're in the trees, are they, over there?
I found spiders in the trees.
Oh yeah, of
and a
course.
snake on one occasion.
Nice. Oh, no.
But I'd read up on it all before I went over.
We don't have any snakes that you found in any of the trees at One Horton Heath, do we?
No,
But we found.
We found a grass snake just down the way
did we?
before last.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, right at the end of the surveys, yeah.
So how do the subjects that young people are learning in school, how do they relate to the job that you do now? What subjects are relevant?
For my job role now, maths, English,
Yeah.
science, geography, you list them all off because you do cover a bit of all of it.
Yes.
But in terms of qualities, you've got to be prepared to get soaking wet through and cold. You take the rough with the smooth because you have some beautiful weather to work in as well.
We've got a lovely day today.
It's a beautiful day, yeah.
It's not like that all the time though,
No,
is
this
it?
week's been a bit wet, hasn't it? Every day that we go out to work, we have to work to a risk assessment. The health and safety is a huge part of my job now. I mean, I'll spend a day doing a risk assessment for 2 days' work. All tools, all kit has to be checked.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have to be...
You have to be very thorough.
You're not employed by the council in your role, you are a consultancy, so you are working for John's Associates. What does a consultant mean?
Consultancy is advising clients and helping them manage risk. We've got a lot of protected species, and a lot of the areas that work's going on need that risk managed.
Yeah.
Because disturbing great crested newts or bats can land you with a real heavy fine, or even you could end up in prison. So we manage that risk and help get the work rolling, basically.
So what's the best thing about your job?
Best thing about the job is giving back to nature now, for me. We installed barn owl boxes on Horton Heath last year, and we were doing a barn owl survey just a few months back. They've moved in.
Oh.
So that sort of thing, and creating habitat for bats, and all of that is giving back,
And that's
which is-
quite special. I mean, that's not the sort of thing that often goes on a development site, that
No.
they spend time making sure that nature is as happy with the development as the humans are.
Yeah, that's very different from just being a tree surgeon. You know, it's where I've crossed paths, if you like, and ended
Yeah.
up with the ecology side as well, which makes it even more interesting.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much today about the role of an arborist. It's
You're welcome.
fascinating.
Thank
you
you.
ever so much. Thank
you.
you.
Cheers.